I think we can all agree that the gaming industry has some issues. Well, a lot of issues, actually. These past couple of years, we've seen layoffs, studio shutdowns, beloved franchises getting ruined, and new IPs flopping before they can even get off the ground. But one thing that I, as well as many others, find especially egregious is how expensive gaming has become. In a blink of an eye, games went from $60 to $70. And the worst part is that $70 doesn't even get you the full game anymore. There's always a special edition, a deluxe edition, a premium edition, and most of the time, these editions can go well past $100. And it doesn't seem like the price increases will be slowing down anytime soon. In fact, we're already seeing publishers listing their games at $80. Games that have no business costing $80, such as The Outer Worlds 2. It barely looks like it's worth $50, but Microsoft has gotten so bold, so shameless in their greed, they think a mid-tier AA game is worth $80 for the standard edition alone. You can't forget about Nintendo, since they're the ones who started this trend. Charging $80 for Mario Kart World should be a felony. And as frustrated as I am with these price increases, I gotta be honest, we deserve it. If people weren't willing to buy these games at such outrageous prices, we wouldn't have this problem to begin with. Of course, everybody knows this. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to come to this conclusion. But if this is common knowledge, and if seemingly everyone online is complaining about the same thing, then why do people continue to support these companies? Well, it's simple really. Brand loyalty and FOMO. For some reason, there are a lot, and I mean a lot of people who show undying loyalty to multi-billion-dollar companies. In their eyes, their favorite companies can do no wrong, and anyone who criticizes said company is either a hater or a grifter. You can find this behavior everywhere, but it's most prevalent in the gaming community for some reason. Sony ponies and Nintendrones will fight tooth and nail to convince you that paying $70 and $80 is not only fair, but necessary. They'll turn into economists and point to tariffs as the reason why gaming prices have skyrocketed, but they conveniently forget that companies have been raising prices before the evil orange man got into office. It has nothing to do with tariffs, it has everything to do with greed. I feel like most of these shills know that, but they need to shift the blame elsewhere to feel justified in consuming $70, $80 slop. I honestly have no idea why people express loyalty to companies who don't even care about them in the first place. And of course, we have FOMO, or the fear of missing out, as one of, if not the biggest reason why games are getting so expensive. Publishers will charge $80 for games because they know they can get away with it. If there's enough hype behind the game, it's guaranteed to sell extremely well regardless of the price tag. Let's take a look at GTA 6 for example. I made a video about this in the past, but there are people out there, actual living, breathing human beings with allegedly functioning brains, who will happily spend over $100 for one single game. The reason behind this? Hype. That's it. There's no guarantee that GTA 6 will be good. There's no guarantee that the game will be able to live up to people's expectations. And it's a real possibility that the game could launch with a 30 FPS cap. 30 FPS in 2026. That is beyond ridiculous. We should have left 30 FPS behind in the previous console generation. But most people won't care about that. Not enough to stop them from spending over $100 on this game anyway. It's honestly crazy how the gaming community has given this one franchise, this one game, so much power that all of this is a realistic scenario. But because all of their friends and favorite streamers talk about how great and amazing this game is going to be, they're going to do everything in their power to get GTA 6 because they cannot be the only person in their circle who hasn't purchased this game. And we're not even getting into GTA Online, which honestly was a complete disaster in GTA 5, and it's going to be an even bigger disaster in GTA 6. And of course, this doesn't just apply to GTA 6. This also applies to the new Switch 2 console that recently launched. I'm sure you guys are already aware of the controversy regarding the price of the hardware and its games. As I've mentioned earlier, games like Mario Kart World are now $80. I mean, that's enough to make anybody angry, right? I mean, how can one game, a standard edition, cost this much? And not to mention the fact that the console alone is $449. Well, here's the thing. The console still sold extremely well. not just extremely well, but it broke records. According to reports, Nintendo sold 3.5 million Switch 2 units in just 4 days. To fully understand how insane those numbers are, let's compare that to gaming handhelds like the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Legion Go, and MSI Claw, which sold a combined 6 million units in 3 years. 6 million in 3 years. Meanwhile, Nintendo sold 3.5 Switch 2s in just a few days. Those are insane numbers. I know you guys are familiar with the phrase vote with your wallet. Well, people are voting with their wallets, just not in the way that I, as well as some of you guys watching this video, would like. The truth is, there are enough gamers out there who will proudly pre-order $70 slop games that aren't even guaranteed to run properly on launch. And it doesn't help that most gamers have the mindset of, it's my money, I can do whatever I want with it. And you know what? I agree. I think people do have the right to spend their money on whatever they want, but I feel like it would be disingenuous to pretend that these sorts of actions don't contribute towards the anti-consumer practices that are so prevalent in the gaming industry. I don't know, man. I just honestly feel like the gaming community deserves it. It sucks, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna stick to the occasional bangers like Stellar Blade and the obscure indie titles on Steam. I'm totally checked out of the AAA industry right now. My AAA fatigue has reached its limit.